Good day, everyone. Today, we're going to look at frameworks for defining the truth. This presentation introduces a framework for defining truth as a foundation for trust, justice, and institutional integrity. Truth is part of the PCST framework and something that we have to pay attention to. It emphasizes that truth has structural importance in society, shaping how we understand problems and how institutions earn legitimacy. In higher education, truth is not optional. It forms the intellectual backbone that allows learning communities to flourish. For Pan Pacific University, truth must guide all three trifocal functions. In instruction, truth ensures accurate and relevant learning. In research, truth ensures evidence based discoveries. In extension, truth ensures communities benefit from valid solutions. A commitment to truth strengthens Pan Pacific U's mission to develop graduates who serve as ethical and competent leaders in sustainable development. Now, let's look at the central role of truth. Truth is the bedrock of trust, justice, and knowledge, the core operating pillars of any institution claiming credibility. Where truth collapses, misinformation rises, and institutions lose authority. In the academic setting, Pan Pacific U must cultivate truth seeking habits, critical inquiry in instruction, rigorous methodology in research, and responsible communication in extension. Through truth, Pan Pacific U supports national educational goals and contributes to shaping institutions aligned with justice and good governance, directly supporting SDG 4 quality education and SDG 16 strong institutions. Truth plays a very important role in our understanding of our core values as institutions. Now, why do truth matters? Truth strengthens trust. It ensures fairness in decision making and guides advancement in knowledge, all institutional fundamentals. Without truth, errors multiply and power replaces reason. For us, these values truth manifests in instruction by means of fair grading and clear and honest curriculum outcomes. In research, this manifests in terms of ethical data use and transparent findings. In extension, credible expertise shared with society. This upholds the university's reputation and ensure that graduates become responsible contributors to national development. There are two essential dimensions to truth. Truth must be understood in two ways. Its nature, what is truth, or what truth is, and its conditions, how we recognize truth. Both dimensions are crucial in scholarship. Philosophy explain truth's meaning, while sciences and the applied fields test and verify it. For us in Pan Pacific U, the nature of truth aligns with intellectual formation in instruction, while the conditions of truth align with research processes and community based validations in extension. This duality ensures that knowledge taught in classrooms connects to real world contexts where truth makes social impact. But what is truth? When we start talking about truth, there are four theories to understand truth. There's a correspondence theory, there's a coherence theory, there's a pragmatic theory, and there's a consensus theory. And each of these theories offer a unique way in evaluating truth. Together, they provide a holistic framework for institutional reasoning and even academic integrity. Pan Pacific Q strengthens its trifocal mandate by applying these theories across disciplines. Instruction benefits from coherence and correspondence in curriculum. Research benefits from correspondence and pragmatic testing. Extension benefits from consensus building with stakeholders. This interplay ensures programs remain aligned with global academic standards and even societal needs. Let's look at an overview of these four theories. Correspondence basically asserts that truth matches reality. Coherence basically says that truth fits logically. Pragmatic basically speaks of truth as working in practice. And consensus basically speaks of truth as something that is socially validated. In higher education institutions, different fields emphasize different theories. Pan Pacific U integrates these to maintain academic excellence. Sciences validates correspondence. Humanities strengthen coherence. Innovation projects focus on pragmatism, and community extension builds consensus, each ensuring a balanced approach to knowledge production and service. Let's look at the correspondence theory. When we speak of the correspondence theory, this is when truth reflects reality. Correspondence theory suggests that truth is based on how accurately statements reflect objective reality. It assumes that the world exists independent of belief and can be measured, observed, and tested. Pan Pacific Q can apply this one in instruction through fact based teaching strategies and laboratory learning. In research, through experiments, and by considering evidence based inquiry. Via extension, through data validated community solutions. By anchoring truth in reality, the university strengthens its credibility and contribution to SDG aligned scientific and policy development. Let's define the correspondence theory. A statement is true when it accurately reflects facts or reality. Truth is earned through alignment with evidence. This is the foundation for scientific literacy and honest academic evaluation. Pan Pacific U must promote this through research ethics training, data integrity monitoring, and fact checking in instruction. Extension activities must be grounded in accurate community assessment and not mere assumptions. This protects the university from academic fraud and ensures institutional trustworthiness. Correspondence theory in action. Examples in this slide: boiling point of water, historical events, and physical constants illustrate that truth must be observable or documentable. In education, this translates to testable learning outcomes and measurable performance indicators. For Pan Pacific U, correspondence theory informs laboratory instruction, evidence-based policy making, and research publications. In extension, it ensures the university's socio-civic initiatives are based on actual community data, helping improve lives through accurate diagnoses and solutions. In this case, we can basically say that the institutional value that is asserted here is that of objectivity. Correspondence theory supports objectivity, essential for academic neutrality, research integrity, and even responsible governance. When truth is tied to evidence, institutions remain accountable. At Pan Pacific Q, objectivity must guide student evaluation, faculty promotion, policy decisions, and research recognition. It protects academic culture from bias, favoritism, and misinformation, strengthening institutional trust and Pan Pacific U's role in national transformation. Now, we need to look at the strengths of correspondence theory. The strengths of correspondence theory includes clear standards for verification, strong foundation for science, and the promotion of accountability. These strengths align with the leadership mandate for universities to ensure the credibility of institutional outcomes. When truth is anchored in evidence, HEIs can confidently defend their assessment methods, research outputs, and administrative decisions against internal and external scrutiny. At Pan Pacific U, these strengths can translate into leadership commitments such as implementing strict data validation processes in research review, ensuring that instructional decisions, including curriculum revisions, rely on evidence based criteria, requiring extension programs to undergo proper needs assessments. Such practices elevate Pan Pacific U's compliance with QA standards and even strengthen its eligibility for recognition, partnership, and research findings. But there are also certain challenges and limitations to correspondence theory. We note that reality is accessed through human interpretation and that abstract truths may not be measurable. Overdependence on empirical proofs may lead institutions to undervalue value-based decision making and cultural knowledge systems, both essential to national development. Pan Pacific U must therefore balance empirical rigor and cultural sensitivity and ethical reasoning for that matter. Instruction should respect indigenous knowledge. Research must recognize qualitative methods, and extension should honor community contexts. This ensures also that Pan Pacific U does not become a purely technocratic institution, but one that respects Filipino identity and fosters holistic truth, supporting government mandates on local empowerment and SDG 10 on reducing inequalities. Aside from the correspondence theory, we move now to the second framework, coherence theory. Coherence theory is when truth means consistency. When truth is judged by logical alignment within a system of beliefs. Coherence strengthens internal organizational rationality, a must for stable institutional governance. When policies, curriculum, and research agendas reinforce each other, institutional fragmentation is avoided. Pan Pacific U can use coherence theory to align instruction with its graduate attributes and institutional outcomes. Research directions with align research directions with national, regional development plans and niche areas. Extension is aligned with research-based solutions and curriculum expertise. This strengthens accreditation results, ISO-based integration, and strategic planning responsiveness. Let's define what coherence theory means for us. Truth in coherence theory does not rely on external observation, but on logical structure among accepted beliefs. For us in the leadership, this approach is foundational to policy consistency. Every decision should make sense within the mission, vision, and core values framework. For Pan Pacific, leadership must ensure that academic offerings, hiring practices, and performance measurements align with the university's trust toward producing globally competitive yet ethically grounded professionals. Any policy that contradicts this internal truth, for example, a program not aligned with faculty expertise or local needs, must be re-evaluated. Coherence ensures institutional identity remains strong and strategic. So how does the coherence theory work? Coherence emerges from established principles, logical integration, mutual support, and system validation. This is precisely how institutional planning functions. Policies derive from mission, and each unit supports others, and evaluation confirms alignment. For Pan-Pacific Q, this means using planning tools such as curriculum mapping, research agendum development, and extension agenda alignment. When every initiative can be traced back to the university's reason for existence, the trifocal function becomes synergistic, leading to improved QA ratings and better attainment of strategic KPIs. Let's look at coherence theory in mathematics. Math demonstrates coherence theory through logical deductions from axioms. Truth emerges from rational unity, not empirical observation. For Pan-Pacific U, this illustrates the importance of strengthening logical reasoning and policy coherence among both faculty and administrators. It means academic councils must evaluate all proposals against established frameworks. Are new subjects aligned with intended learning outcomes? Do new research projects support HEI policies and priorities? Coherence ensures sustainability, which is crucial for long-term institutional resilience. Let's look at some examples across domains. Legal reasoning, philosophy, and theoretical frameworks are spaces where coherence determines truth. This matters greatly in HEIs, where programs must adhere to CHED standards, quality assurance mechanisms, and internal governance structures. Pan-Pacific U, therefore, must ensure instruction supports structured lifelong learning. Research contributes to national and ASEAN knowledge systems, and extension reflects a shared framework of community empowerment. With coherence, Pan-Pacific U maintains legitimacy and avoids practices that violate academic standards or government accountability. The institutional value of coherence theory here is logical structure. Coherence theory strengthens policy logic and organizational harmony. Institutions that operate logically avoid conflicting directives and misaligned priorities, both common risks in expanding universities. Pan-Pacific U leadership must promote logical governance, by ensuring all documentation, manuals, WIPs, SOPs, faculty workload policies are rational, consistent, and transparent. In return, faculty and students gain confidence in institutional fairness and direction, fostering a stable academic environment conducive to achieving performance commitments under accreditation and SDG alignment. Now, let's look at some strengths in the coherence theory. We note that coherence theory, the strengths of coherence theory include systematic unity, error detection through contradictions, and intellectual rigor. These strengthens the core of academic governance, well-structured decisions, consistent implementation, and immediate signals when something is misaligned. At Pan Pacific Q, these strengths support governance reforms, continuous improvement, and even capacity development. Coherence serves as internal quality control, enabling leaders to detect disconnects in trifocal programs early before they compromise standards or even worst, public trust. When coherence guides governance, organizational culture matures toward unity and integrity. But there are also challenges in and limitations to coherence theory, just as all the rest. We need to acknowledge that systems can be internally consistent, yet totally false, as seen in fictional worlds or novels. And coherence cannot adjudicate between equally coherent but incompatible systems. Thus, at Pan Pacific Q, we cannot simply rely on internal logic. Leadership must validate policies and programs using external benchmarks such as labor market needs, community data, accreditation criteria, and even SDGs. Coherence must be balanced with evidence, correspondence, which is the correspondence theory, if you remember, and also real world success, pragmatism, and stakeholder assessments or consensus. And these ensures that Pan Pacific Q remains globally aligned and also at the same time socially responsible, globally aligned and socially responsible. So so that's something we need to pay attention to and focus on, no? Because there we see also our roles as educator, uh, and how we are going to move forward from there. Okay? So we also need to pay attention at the other meanings of these setups, uh, or this knowledge of truths. Now, let's look at the pragmatic theory, which basically allows us to pay attention at what works, no? What works. Pragmatic theory defines truth in terms of functionality and results. What is true is what produces successful outcomes, solves problems, or leads to beneficial consequences. In this view, truth is dynamic, always tested through applications and results rather than abstract correctness. This approach aligns with modern organizational thinking, where decisions are evaluated through performance and impact, and not just intention. For us, this translates directly into leadership responsibility to evaluate instruction based on learning outcomes, research based on measurable contributions to knowledge and society, and extension based on real community uplift. Pragmatism also connects to CHED's outcome-based education mandate and SDG performance indicators. Programs, policies, and partnerships must work in practice, not just on paper, ensuring Pan-Pacific U maintains relevance to regional development and national educational priorities. Let's define pragmatic theory. Truth is what works or has practical consequences that lead to successful outcomes. Pragmatism emphasizes that beliefs become true through verification in experience. This means truth is forward looking and consistently tested against real world results. Institutions guided by pragmatism adopt flexibility, innovation, and adaptive learning. In the university, this means that we can integrate these into our trifocal functions by ensuring that instruction continually respond to industry trends, that research addresses pressing societal issues, and that extension demonstrates measurable improvement in partner communities. For administration and for those in the leadership, pragmatic truth affirms the need for continuous quality improvement, turning institutional plans into actionable results aligned with organizational KPIs and SDGs such as good health, decent work, and sustainable cities. Let's look at some pragmatic criterion. This slide outlines core questions of pragmatic theory. Does this belief guide successful action? Do predictions come true? Does accepting this belief solve problems? These questions mirror organizational evaluation metrics such as impact assessments, benchmarking, and tracer studies. In Pan-Pacific Q, pragmatic criteria becomes essential tools for academic councils, research committees, and extension units. Instruction must be validated through board exam performance and employability. Research, research through citations, technology transfer, and community adoption, and extension through empowerment indicators and sustainability of community programs. Leadership, therefore, must create structures where effectiveness is continuously assessed and truth is measured through institutional performance and societal benefit. Now, let's look at certain scientific theories as pragmatic truths. We offer examples of pragmatic truths such as the germ theory and relativity. Theories accepted because they work and generate consistent, useful outcomes. Scientific truth is validated by the accuracy of predictions and the success of applications. This underscores the importance of research grounded in real world utility rather than theoretical abstraction. For us, this means strengthening applied research, trans- translational studies, and innovation based projects that produce tangible results. Faculty research should aim for community applicability, technological development, and policy advisories. Students should be trained in research that addresses local agricultural, health, educational, or environmental issues. Extension activities must integrate scientific findings to improve community livelihoods. Pragmatism ensures the university contributes concretely to SDG target achievements. Pragmatism across contexts. We need to highlight engineering, medicine, or health sciences and navigation as practical spaces where truth is evaluated by outcomes. This illustrates that pragmatic evaluation spans all professions. A reminder that universities are responsible not only for teaching concepts, but for producing graduates who can apply them effectively. In the university, leadership and administration must assure and ensure that each academic program incorporates practical training, laboratory activities, uh, and real world exposure aligned with CHED's outcome based education. Research and extension should be tied to solving regional challenges. In Nueva Ecija, for example, or in Pangasinan, and neighboring provinces such as agricultural modernization, disaster resilience, socioeconomic mobility. And these commitments position as a driver of local innovation hubs aligned with national development goals. Here, the institutional value that is being pushed forward is innovation. Accordingly, pragmatic theory supports innovation, performance-based decisions, and practical wisdom within institutions. Pragmatism encourages experimentation and strengthens adaptive leadership, both essential in rapidly changing educational landscapes. For us, this means embracing digital transformation in instruction, promoting interdisciplinary research clusters, and developing extension programs that use innovative strategies to respond to community needs. Pragmatic decision making ensures the university remains resilient during disruptions like technological shifts or public health crises. Innovation becomes not only a mandate, but a measure of truth in institutional effectiveness. What are the strengths of pragmatic theory? Pragmatic theory, we can identify pragmatism strengths as being results oriented, adaptive, and unifying. Pragmatism integrates theory and practice, prevents academic stagnation, and promotes constant refining of institutional strategies. PU benefits from these strengths by adopting flexible learning systems, regularly evaluating program effectiveness, and ensuring that policies are responsive rather than rigid. Research agendas must therefore evolve based on emerging issues, while extension initiatives should continuously integrate feedback from stakeholders. Administratively, pragmatism encourages iterative planning and fosters a culture of continuous improvement, vital for meeting accreditation requirements and achieving strategic targets. But pragmatism has its own share of challenges and limitations also. We note concerns such as short term versus long term success, varying definitions of what works, and moral implications of effective yet questionable practices. Pragmatism can inadvertently privilege expediency over ethics if not balanced by other theories or frameworks of truth. The university leadership must guard against these by ensuring pragmatic decisions remain grounded in institutional values and guided by CHED's ethical standards. Instruction must promote not only problem solving but ethical decision making. Research must respect ethical review processes. And extension must prioritize empowerment, not dependency or political influence. Pragmatic truth must serve human development, aligning with SDG values such as equity, justice, and sustainability. We're done with the correspondence theory. We're done with the coherence theory. We're done with the pragmatic theory. Now let's look at the fourth theoretical framework, which is consensus theory, when truth emerges together. This is truth that is based on collective agreement within a community. Truth becomes a product of discourse, collaboration, and shared understanding. In institutions, consensus shapes norms, policies, and legitimate practices. For us, in the leadership, consensus theory informs participatory governance. Faculty, staff, students, alumni, and partners all play roles in community decision making. Instruction benefits when faculty collaborate on curriculum design. Research thrives in interdisciplinary synergy. Extension programs gain legitimacy when communities co-design solutions. Consensus is key to sustainable institutional decision making and aligns perfectly with principles of SDG 16 on inclusive governance. Let's define consensus theory. Consensus theory defines truth as emerging from collective agreement after dialogue, debate, and shared evaluation. Consensus based truth acknowledges human interdependence and the social nature of knowledge. It recognizes that no single expert or leader holds complete truth. For us, this Pan-Pacific Q strengthens this through academic councils, research review boards, student governments, faculty consultations, and stakeholder consultations. Leadership must foster spaces for open dialogue to ensure that institutional decisions reflect common understanding. And this builds community trust, enhances morale, and aligns the university's direction with broader societal and educational expectations. So, how does consensus establishes truth? There are four steps: individual propose ideas, communities deliberate, critique and revision refine understanding, and shared agreement emerges. This mirrors academic processes such as peer review, academic deliberation, and collegial governance. In the university, consensus is operational in terms of curriculum approval, program evaluation, budget consultations, or even review ethics, research ethics review. By upholding collegial processes, leadership ensures transparency and prevents unilateral decision making. This strengthens institutional legitimacy and fosters unity, essential during accreditation cycles, policy changes, and long-term strategic planning even. Let's look at examples of the consensus truth. This slide mentions legal norms and standards as examples of consensus truth. Society accepts laws and moral systems because they emerge from processes of agreement, not discovery of physical facts. For us, this highlights the importance of community norms such as academic integrity, professional ethics, and shared values. Instruction must model ethical conduct. Research must follow institutional review standards. Extension must respect community customs. Consensus truth ensures that initiatives reflect collective values, strengthening the university's social contract with its stakeholders. Here we see scientific consensus also. While we need to emphasize that even science uses consensus through peer review, replication, and collective evaluation. So pay attention at what we were talking about. So Pan-Pacific U must strengthen its research culture by promoting peer review, faculty mentoring, interdisciplinary critique, and collaborative publication. Consensus processes improve the quality of research outputs and ensure alignment with global standards, enhancing the university's contribution to national and international research communities. The institutional value at this point is social cohesion, shared vision and values, collective responsibility are the institutional benefits of consensus. This ensures that institutions do not fragment into competing factions, but work as unified communities. For us, this means ensuring that instructional strategies, research directions, and extension priorities are communicated clearly and developed collaboratively. Strong cohesion enhances faculty retention, student satisfaction, and stakeholder trust, contributing to positive institutional culture aligned with SDGs focus on community unity and inclusive decision making. The strengths of the consensus theory includes um, democratic legitimacy, error correction through multiple viewpoints, and social unity. These empowers institutions to make decisions that reflect collective wisdom rather than isolated authority. For us, consensus strengthens shared governance by ensuring that policies are not only approved but owned by the community. Leadership benefits from diverse expertise, reducing blind spots in planning and implementation. Such an approach improves institutional resilience and sets a strong foundation for accreditation, stakeholder engagement, and cooperative partnership. But consensus theory also have limitations and challenges. Majority error, manipulation, and even superficial agreement. Consensus can be influenced by power dynamics or misinformation, making it unreliable if coupled if not coupled with other truth theories. For us in the leadership, we must ensure consensus is authentic, informed, and inclusive. This means providing accurate information during consultations, preventing coercion, and ensuring minority voices are heard. Balancing consensus with empirical data and ethical reasoning prevents groupthink and ensures policies remain robust and aligned with institutional missions. Now let's compare the theories from each other. Uh, Truth is multidimensional. I hope that is clear by now. And no single approach is sufficient for institutional decision making. While correspondence ensures accuracy, coherence ensures rational alignment, pragmatism ensures effectiveness, and consensus ensures legitimacy. We must integrate all four to create a balanced governance framework. Instruction should be fact based, yet critically structured. Research should be evidence driven, yet application oriented. Extension should be both data informed and community validated. Leadership must ensure decisions pass through multiple truth checks for robust policy making. But we still need to pay attention at key distinctions between these four. And we look at this one in terms of criteria, domains, and key questions. This framework gives administrators a structured tool to evaluate institutional decisions from multiple perspectives. For us, we can use these distinctions for decision audits and even strategic planning. For instance, does a policy reflect reality data? Is it internally consistent? Will it work in practice? Do stakeholders agree? Applying all four questions reduces institutional risk and enhances strategic insight. It's more important to actually look at these four as complementary. we see in this slide how the theories complement each other. Correspondence grounds truth in reality. Coherence ensures internal order. Pragmatism validates true use. And consensus confirms socially. For us, integrating these ensures a balanced trifocal function. Instruction grounded in fact and logic, research guided by evidence, and societal impact, and extension informed by both community realities and stakeholder consensus. This integrated approach supports institutional sustainability and also SDG alignment. Now let's look at when each theory shines. So this slide assigns each theory to a domain: natural sciences, correspondence, mathematics, coherence, engineering, medicine, pragmatism, ethics, law, consensus. The university can use this domain strengths to design program-specific teaching methodologies, research priorities, and extension initiatives, which helps us justify program offerings, guide faculty development, and create coherent, impactful academic ecosystems. So how do we integrate truth into institutions? Uh, Complex systems like HEIs require multi-layered truth standards to maintain integrity and relevance. For Pan-Pacific Q, we must ensure integration across all units: academic affairs, research clusters, extension offices, administrative departments, and student services. Leadership should promote cross-functional collaboration to ensure decisions reflect a holistic understanding of truth and support institutional coherence. There is always a need for integration. Always. Especially in our attempt to balance different approaches to truth. A university is not only a center of empirical information, but also of community values, a site of innovation, and a forum for democratic liberation. For Pan-Pacific Q, this means integrating correspondence-based research training, coherence-based curriculum planning, pragmatic-based community engagement, and consensus-based governance. Integration strengthens institutional identity and prepares graduates who can address multidimensional global issues. Since truth is an institutional value, we need to look at how this truth framework balances accuracy, consistency, effectiveness, and unity. These corresponds directly to the four theories and serve as institutional quality principles. For us, we can embed this framework into quality assurance manual, curriculum frameworks, research evaluation rubrics, and extension standards. And it becomes a guiding structure for policymaking, accreditation, and strategic planning towards continuous improvement. Very important, though, is the need for us to balance this institutional approach. There are four elements here: shared values, effective outcomes, logical consistency, and factual accuracy. These pillars guide institution-wide truth commitments. For Pan Pacific Q, this means the values strengthen organizational culture, the outcomes ensure performance, consistency ensure internal logic, and accuracy ensures reliability. Together, these ensure that the trifocal functions operate effectively and even ethically. Let's look at some applications to HEIs. Research institutions use all four truth theories: correspondence for experiments, coherence for methodology, pragmatism for utility, and consensus for peer review. We must strengthen our research enterprise by ensuring empirical rigor, methodological soundness, real-world relevance, and scholarly consensus. This is vital for increasing research publication rates, attracting funding, and producing solutions that align with regional and national development priorities. We can apply this further to educational institutions. This slide shows how education applies correspondence, accurate teaching, coherent structured curriculum, pragmatism, effective learning outcomes, and consensus shared standards. For us, we must ensure curriculum mapping, faculty development, and assessment systems reflect these principles. Instruction must integrate real-world contexts, logical progression of learning, problem-solving orientation, and shared academic values, ensuring graduates contribute to SDG 4 on quality education. We can also look at the application of these to government institutions, but also to healthcare organizations, which I will skip for purposes of this discussion. Now, let's look at a holistic definition. Truth is described as a commitment to accuracy, rational consistency, practical belief, benefits, and ethical responsibility. It integrates all four theories into an institutional virtue. For us, we must continuously embed these values in organizational culture, faculty engagement, student formation, and administrative processes. Truth becomes a core competency of the entire academic community. But what are the essential qualities of truth? Truth is described as universal, objective, verifiable, and ethical. These qualities serve as institutional standards for evaluating information. So we must adapt these qualities as guiding principles for in QA audits, administrative decisions, and even academic performance evaluations. Embedding them ensures intellectual integrity and credibility. Let's look at these four universal qualities of truth. Truth must be universal, objective, verifiable, and ethical. These qualities support responsible teaching, ethical research, and community trustworthy extension. We must teach students to respect universality and objectivity in instruction, uphold verification in research, and practice ethical engagement in extension, ensuring graduates become responsible agents of national development. So, why these qualities matter? These qualities Distinguish truth from propaganda, misinformation, and even self-deception. Institutions must evaluate truth claims critically and even responsibly. For us, we must strengthen information literacy, anti-disinformation systems, and critical thinking programs. This protect both the academic community and the region from harmful misinformation, supporting SDG 16's pursuit of strong, transparent institutions. Here we need to create the distinction between what is true and what is falsehood. In terms of consistency, durability, and verifiability. To cut the entire diagram in front of you, falsehood collapses under scrutiny. This reinforces the need for fact-based instruction, transparent grading, research ethics compliance, and community programs grounded in accurate data. Institutions that tolerate falsehood risk losing accreditation, stakeholder trust, and community relevance. Let's look at institutional commitment to these qualities. We take into consideration certain actions such as establishing standards, building processes, fostering culture, and leadership modeling. For Pan Pacific, we continuously integrate these commitments into institutional manuals, governance structures, evaluation systems. Leaders must model truth seeking behavior, setting expectations for faculty, staff, and students. So, what are challenges to institutional truth? Uh, This slide identifies pressures such as desire for certainty, conflict interests, information overload, and polarization. Leadership at Pan Pacific U must continuously address these through transparent decision making, ethical governance, academic freedom, and capacity building. These protect the university from corruption, bias, and misinformation, strengthening institutional resilience. So, how do we protect truth in institutions? There are structural protections such as independence, transparency, whistleblower systems, and cultural practices like humility and learning. We must implement and continuously implement strong governance, ethical systems, open communication channels, building a culture of constructive criticism, critical inquiry, and intellectual humility strengthens the university's leadership identity and prepares it for accreditation and long-term growth. Now, to conclude, truth ties integrity and societal trust. Institutions that uphold truth build legitimacy, unity, and even civic responsibility. And therefore, we must embrace truth as a strategic institutional value, guiding planning, governance, and community engagements. Truth includes empirical accuracy, logical coherence, practical utility, and societal validation. No single sense and lens is enough to for complex institutions like ours. Truth shapes integrity, and integrity shapes society. Institutional integrity emerges when truth is upheld in all functions of the university. And when we embrace complexity, balance criteria, build structures, cultivate culture, and connect truth to ethics, these are strategic roadmaps for institutional leadership that we can still pay attention to. And it's not going to be easy. And yet we have to pay attention at it. let's look at some key takeaways. For us in Pan Pacific Q, we must implement these takeaways in our long-term and short-term plans, strengthening institutional quality, enhancing research culture, deepening community engagement, and aligning all efforts with truth-centered governance. These commitments ensure the university remains a trusted leader in sustainable development and education. I wish everyone well in our pursuit of truth and in living it out. Thank you very much, Pan Pacifics, for listening.